So I hope you guys have, start again. What's up team? Welcome to this video. I'm super excited for this one because I've got some really gnarly stuff to show you. I'm going to be going through and basically screencasting and showing you my back end stuff as well of how I basically do my whole entire social media marketing campaign across all my socials within 1 hour, and it could be even less than that. I think some weeks I'm not even looking at it. Now, if you're anything like me, you're organically marketing and perhaps you're not into paid ads yet, or perhaps you're doing both. But for me, I rely on my social media marketing campaign to be really effective in order for me to get appointments set. Now I have my social selling VAs setting appointments for me. We get anywhere from 10 to 15 per week. Now without my social media marketing campaign, I wouldn't be able to get appointments set, and which means I wouldn't be able to get clients. So it kind of goes hand in hand. I need, like, they complement each other. Now we all know that with social media marketing, one of the biggest key things here is consistency. And I've actually gone back, I've looked at my insights and my analytics with my team before, and we're reviewing this stuff every single week. And when we've dropped off a little bit, or if I've had a break, or if I haven't streamlined and automated something, I've definitely seen big drops in engagement and also less appointments being booked within my business as well, which means less clients. So this video is all about planning, creating, and scheduling content as well. And like I said, I'm going to show you my back end stuff and how it looks like in my head and my back end through Google Drive as to how it all kind of strings together. I know a lot of people kind of pull their hair out at the thought of this, and how does it all get done? Like, how does it get automated, and how can you possibly spend 1 hour a week on your social media marketing campaign? And so that's what I want to uncover, because you can do it too, and it doesn't have to take up hours and hours of your time. It should be somewhat a fun process, you know, creating content. So let me take you through and I'll show you exactly how I do that. I'm going to jump in and show you a screencast. Okay team, here we go. I'm going to go through and show you exactly how I plan my content. It all actually starts with having an organized back end. Like, the more organized and laid out things are on the back end, the easier it is to actually organize and do things in, you know, a pretty good time frame, with eliminating errors as well. So if I come in and if you look at this is my shared drive with my immediate team. And so we categorize basically all the fundamentals within any business can lie within these 6 categories here, and that's what I have labeled in my backend and all my project management. And you can see that set up in my delegation cheat sheet. I'll leave the link below for that. As it stands, this is how we're organizing our backend. Okay, so if I come into my marketing and lead gen, you can see there's branding, positioning, email marketing, YouTube, social media, website, blog, partnership, and collaboration. So everything's kind of nicely tasked, and then has subtasks within those as well. So I just wanted to throw that in there for organizational purposes when it comes to planning, especially if you are working with a team. Even if you're not working with a team, this is a really good way to get started off for when you do expand and you need somebody to join your team. Then you've got this nice organized workspace that's, you know, it's not going to be messy when you're onboarding, and it's going to be quite seamless as well. And so the other part I want to say is, when it comes to planning, I want to let you know that I have my half an hour or my 30-minute call with my marketing team here. So I've got my social media manager and video editor. I've got my copywriter who helps out with some of the business copy, and I've got a project manager as well. So that's just how I sort of structure my weeks with them, and how I actually do my content as well. But when it comes to the actual planning, what I'm doing is I have a couple of different ways that I'm doing my socials. So one is more business related and one is more personal. So I've got my personal brand, and then I also have the business, which is the Speed Up Co, the virtual assistant company. And so what I'm doing all the time is I'm drawing inspiration from somewhere. So I listen to a lot of audiobooks. I have some really interesting conversations with people, and I write. I'm always writing about certain things in my life and what's happening for me at the time. And, you know, there's like just a few notes here as well. I even take book notes. So book notes here, some, you know, interesting quotes that I really like from that book. And so I can actually draw inspiration from these things. And, you know, it might be a little bit messy and disorganized in here, but the fact of the matter is, you got to write these things down as they come to you. Otherwise they dwindle and you forget to actually even speak into them. And so that's what I do. I simply just use the notes that are on my Mac here and also on my iPhone. But there are some other apps like Evernote, or I think it's called Evernote, which I know a lot of people use as well as a cool little business tool there. So you can look into that if you want to get more organized on that part. So that's what I'm doing in terms of sort of planning my content and making sure new content comes out. The other piece to planning is, guys, you got to remember that you've probably got a bunch of content already. And so rather than reinvent the wheel over and over again, you can actually use pre-existing content and really upcycle it. Yeah. And so on this relevancy grid template here, I've got every single post, and I'm not even doing this actually. This is one of my virtual assistants that is coming in here and is recording all of this in here. So basically, if I'm, perhaps if I'm not feeling particularly inspired, or maybe I'm having, a really busy week, it's easy enough to come in here and have a look at these previous posts that I've done. And I can say, okay, cool. Well, this one, engaged relatively high, and I can see the likes here and the comments, and it's a personal story. I'm talking about personal growth here. And so I can actually open that and look into that and get that post. And then what I would do is basically change it around a little bit. So I would flip it and then change it a little bit, but I can use a similar structure. I don't want to just, copy the entire thing because it may get repetitive. Not that most people will notice, but there are just a few little changes that you need to make. Again, that's something that you can be coming in and doing. Although if you do have a team, this is what my social media manager helps me out with. So with my personal posts, he's got these 3 engagement posts we're doing every week, and I can come in and say, okay, I like that. That's cool. Otherwise, I would come in here and I would add a comment and I would say, what would you call the perfect day? And if I want to change that, I might say, what would you call the perfect? What does your perfect week look like? And I leave that comment there. He can come in and he can see that and he can go, okay, cool, that's what I'm going to use. Right? I'm actually more than happy with what he's put there, and so I'm not going to change that. And then what he's also done is he's grabbed a long post from this relevancy grid template. He's also got a short post here for me, so I can actually come in here and review these, which I do. So I came in here and reviewed this the other day and changed it up because it's completely changed my morning routine and how that looks. Okay, but this is something that engaged quite well, and so I've just redone that and we can reuse that again. This is a discussion that I've had on one of my marketing meetings. I've said, okay, cool, I'm not as consistent with my Facebook. Can I want to do 3 engagement posts and then a couple of, either short or long posts. And so this is what he's organized for me to be able to do that. Another part with the planning is you can actually use a social media manager calendar, and we use this for a long time. We're probably not using it as much now. We're kind of just using Google Docs, but this can be very handy as well. It really just depends on your own personal preferences and your own style. See, this is pretty cool in the way that you've got your sort of content ideas here. So we're doing audiograms, we're doing a video, we're doing infographic quote and cinematic posts. Okay, that's for Facebook personal. So that was in May. And so you can come through here, and there was basically my social media manager. He does all the clippings from the YouTube video. So I provide a YouTube video, all the raw footage, he then edits it, and then he puts the snippets together. And so I would come in here and I can look at the snippet. The second part to this is get them to actually talk. And I can go through, I can review that, and then I can come in here and put in some captions if I want. Going through here and throwing in some captions, that won't take probably any longer than 10 minutes to go through and do that. I can also check the picture here, if he's got a picture organized for that. And then we've also got an email there. Okay, so we're sending out a weekly email as well. Quotes, so I can come in here, I can check that quote. So I've just changed that up a little bit back in May. And again, audiogram. So it's just coming in here, changing these bits and pieces. So this is for the business page. Again, it's got everything in here. So basically Jan, my social media manager, he's working with a copywriter on our team who's helping out with the business copy. So this all comes onto here, and they can use that to basically collaborate and work with each other. And I can see more recently that for Instagram, I don't spend a lot of time on Instagram, but we are just trying a couple of different things to get some more growth there. Our main focus is at the moment just on Facebook and email. But if we come in here, you can see basically what we did is I gave my team, Jan, like a few different profiles that I liked, and he went and got a bunch of these ideas of what we can do to help boost the quality of our content. And so he's come through, he's got all these content ideas, and he's put it on certain days, and that's all depending on what days are trending and, you know, what's just trending in general on IG as well. And so that's something that we're just starting off, but as you can see, it's pretty well organized. I can see, okay, on this day's graphical quotes. I'm going to get one of our copywriters to help out with this as well, but I'll be going through and like approving this stuff as well. So you can see on the business page, the overall or the outcome at the end of all of that planning is, you know, some really nice content. We've got lovely hashtags. We've got content that's written here. We've got a variety of different things. We've got some carousel here. It works if you're planning this properly and you think about the planning stage as well. Now, when it comes to actually creating the content, the way that I work with my team is, like I said, I've got the business page, but I also have my own branded sort of personal profile here. And so for my personal profile, for the most part, I'm writing the long and short posts for that. It's the same on IG and LinkedIn across all my personal profiles. But for the business, I can actually outsource that and get some assistance with that. And so if we come to my personal profile here, you can see that all of these posts are quite personal, but I'm also seeding in some stuff about business here as well, and there's some call to actions here, so it is still business related. It's just a little bit more personal than the actual the Speed Up Co business page, but we're still getting, you know, a decent amount of engagement and just being consistent with these posts as well. That's what I'm doing across my Facebook and my Instagram. Now, what I'm doing with YouTube and the business side of things is basically for that is I batch content. I batch content for about a month in advance. So if you come to my YouTube folder here, I put all of my YouTube videos in here in the media. If we go in, you can see there's raw and then there's edited. So I put it all in the raw. And from there, my video editor comes in and he edits those. Basically that gets pulled apart and multi-purposed across various channels. So I don't have much to do with that anymore. I did when we were setting it up, but now I have my team in place, whereas I don't actually need to spend a lot of time on that at all. So if we come to our channel in Slack, we can go to marketing. You can see basically this is where we do our updates here. So Slack is great when you're working with a team, and this kind of just replaces email and bits and bobs flying all over the place. So if we come to the social media badasses channel, then you can see here, Jan, he's just hollered at our project manager and our copywriter, and this is the content and the SO brief for our YouTube video, and he's asking if I can also check the latest YouTube video. So it's all like really quite streamlined. I literally do the raw footage of the YouTube video, and then all I have to do is review it. At one point, I was reviewing the copy that went with it as well, but because I've been doing this process for a few months now, I've actually got a copywriter who's he's on top of our branding and our positioning, and then my project manager just goes over that now as well. So we've got very few mistakes with our copy there, and it is quite streamlined and easy to go. So that's what it looks like with my overall planning and creation of the content. Again, this relevancy grids is a really great idea. You don't want to reinvent the wheel. You've probably got a lot of content that's already there in the back end that you don't need to be recreating, and you can just do some tweaks, and it will save yourself hours and hours and hours, and it will also save yourself wanting to pull your hair out because you can't think of what to write. At the end of the day, all of this social media marketing and marketing in general stuff, right? It's repetition. We have to keep on repeating ourselves. We feel like we're saying the same thing over and over and over again, but the same people aren't listening. Just remember that. So that's all about planning and creating the content. And in the next video clip, I'm going to go through and I'll actually get my social media manager to take you guys through and show you how to schedule the content and give you some hot tips on that as well.
Hi, I will show you how to schedule in social media. There are a lot of ways to do that, but let me show you first how to schedule in Facebook and Instagram without using a third party. There are 3 ways to do that. You could use the default one, the Business Suite publishing tools, and using Creator Studio. But in this tutorial, I will be showing you how to use Facebook Suite. So let's start creating posts. Let's just click this create post button. You could check the platforms you want to schedule a post here, and then click the media button, either add photo or video, then pick your media, then copy paste the prepared caption or copy here. You could either add a location, add a feeling or activity, click the down button or the arrow button, then schedule a post. Then you can pick a specific date and the right time to post it. Then click save. And you can double check if all is okay and correct. You can view it in Instagram too. And then you could just click the schedule post. Now that's how easy it is to schedule in business pages and Instagram using Business Suite. Now you could also schedule your stories. Just click here. Actually, it's the same how you schedule a post like we did earlier. Yeah, actually the same. Now let me show you how to schedule in a third-party platform. There are a lot of third-party scheduler out there. We have Hootsuite, Buffer, Sendable, Agora Pulse, Social Chump, and Content Studio, and many more actually. But I will be using Hootsuite for this tutorial. Just log in your account and we will be sent to the dashboard, and I will just create post, then upload a photo or any kind of media you want. Then copy and paste your prepared caption here, and then click the social media you want to post, social media account, either Facebook pages, Instagram, LinkedIn, and you could also add more social media accounts here. Then you can see the preview here in this part. You can check if it's correct or not, and you could adjust if you want. Then you could also promote this post if you want to. And then you could also see the mobile view. Then click this button, the schedule for later. Pick a specific date and the right time to post. Then click done. Then you can click the button schedule to schedule it. Now that's how easy to use a third-party platform like Hootsuite to schedule your posts in almost any social media accounts you want. That's it. Thank you.
So I hope you guys have got some value out of that screencast and taking you through the back end of my business and what that looks like, working with a team. You don't need a team to be able to do this. You can do this by yourself. It might take you a little bit longer, especially while you're in that adjustment period and you're getting into the groove of things. But once you've got it down packed, you'll find it takes you a lot less time as well. It's just one of those things that with time and practice, it becomes a more efficient process. And just to clarify as well, basically what I do for my social media marketing campaign is I shoot these videos. So usually within one day, I'm batching my content. I spend one day doing the research and looking at all the marketing stuff there. And then the second day, what I'll do is I basically film usually 4 to 6 videos within one day. And then that's my content for anywhere between 4 to 6 weeks. So with this raw footage from the YouTube video, I send that over to my video editor. He edits it, makes it all pretty, puts all the bells and whistles in. I just have to spend some time reviewing it, make sure I'm happy with it. We use some scripts and everything. We've got templates that we use so that we're both on the same page and that we can do it with eliminating errors and with it being good as well, or the way that I like it. And then with that, a couple of my other team members help with writing copy. So we grab snippets from that and then we multi-purpose it across the channels. Rather than me spend hours and hours just recreating and upcycling and all this other stuff, I literally just create one video. My whole team multi-purposes that and disperses it across all of the channels. And so I write some of the copy on my personal pages, and then we have a copywriter who's been with me for about 1.5 years who helps with the actual business copy there as well. So again, these things don't have to take you a long time. If you sit down and you just get in the flow of it, put away all distractions, you can bang out this copy really, really quickly. I know for my business copy, which is quite a lot, my copywriter writers getting done within 20 to 30 minutes every single week, and that's with a decent probably 4 or 5 posts. So I do hope this has been valuable for you in helping you to plan your content and also schedule your content and create your content. Now, if you are looking to expand your team and get some help on board, you're finding you've got too much to do, and I will invite you to download my delegation cheat sheet. With that, it's a bit of a process in there that helps you to recognize what you can delegate and what processes you have in your business. So it helps you to gain a bit of clarity on what you can be focusing on first. If you know that you're ready right now and you just want to pull the trigger and get started, click the link below. I'll put my booking link, a free 20-minute chat. I don't do hard salesy calls. We'll just be having a chat, seeing where you're at, seeing if I can support you. If not, I can point you in the right direction. But anything virtual assistants and virtual professionals, this is my gig. So more than happy to help you out and see if we can support you in your business somehow. So again, I hope you've got some value out of this video. If you have, give us a like and subscribe. It helps me to reach more people like you. And I will see you on the next video. If you would like to check out these couple of videos as well, if you are considering virtual assistants, feel like they will really help you gain that clarity piece as well. And yeah, thanks again for sticking around and giving me your time. See ya.